What's up, guys? Greg Hall with I Like Collectibles here. Some huge news just dropped and I wanted to go over it a little bit. WATA just released their population reports. So let's take a look and see what is now available. So let's read the message from it. It says, we're thrilled to tell you that this has finally arrived. The population reports for NES, Super NES, Nintendo 64, Game Boy, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, Virtual Boy, Sega Master System, Genesis, Dreamcast, Sega CD, Sega Saturn, and TurboGrafx 16. Wow, so they went from NES to all this in one population report update. With that said, also the NES games were updated. So they updated the population reports on the NES games as well. Now, I want to take a quick look. Let's dive right into some of the information here, some of the pop counts. Let's take a look straight at N64 because this is a system that really interests me. First, I want to see what the most commonly graded game is, and there's no surprise there. It's Ocarina of Time, one of the most popular games of all time. Ocarina of Time currently has 201 graded copies, which still seems kind of low to me for sealed games. Only 201 sealed copies when there's literally tens of thousands of collectors that would love to have this in their collection. Let's see, the highest graded, there's 3 9.8s. Let's see what versions those are. They're all in the Made in Japan versions, actually. There's no 9.8 collector's editions, which is very interesting. There's 11 9.6s. So the collector's edition, the Made in Japan collector's edition is obviously the most sought after. That's the one that everyone would like to get their hands on. Now, the store employee one is kind of almost like a ghost. It's super hard to find. And that's why there's only one on the census. It's a 9.2. It's super hard to find, sealed anyway, I should say. The player's choice, there's only 12 graded. But yeah, so the collector's edition is the highest graded, and there happens to be no 9.8s. So is somebody sitting on a copy that they want to get? Actually, there may be some VGAs too. I'd have to look at the VGA pop report, but is somebody sitting on a high grade sealed copy? Now might be your time to send it in and get it graded there. Let's take a look at some of the other numbers. The second most graded game is Gauntlet Legends, which this is a game that you can still find cases of online. I've seen multiple cases of this game, so it does not surprise me there's 58 9.8s of this because there's so many cases around. I almost bought a case last year of this, and at the last minute kind of passed on it. But so it doesn't surprise me that there's so many. There's probably many more out there of this game because, like I say, I know there's cases and cases of this out there. Majora's Mask is the third. Perfect Dark. Super Mario 64. There's 3 9.8 graded games. Interestingly enough, there's no player's choice graded in a 9.8. That's interesting. But there are 3 Made in Japan versions. So that's kind of cool. This is one of the record-breaking games, obviously, in that went for 1.2 million, I believe, is what the final was on this game. But there is a pop count of 3, so it's not pop count 1. So that's a lot of money for a game that there's 3 of, but I'm not going to get into that on this video. Next up is Goldeneye. There's 107 copies of this graded. 4 are in a 9.8. 2 are made in Japan. 2 are the player's choice. So 2 are the first release. 2 are the player's choice release. Again, that is kind of surprising that the pop count on these 9.8 player's choices is lower or about the same as the first release. But I guess the people that bought it because they knew they wanted to play it. So they opened it. Makes sense. So moving right along, we have Bad Fur Day, 102 Pokemon Snap, which is still a game you can find all over the place sealed. 94 copies graded, only 1 in a 9.8. It's a bigger game for anyone that has it. Pretty cool. Mario Kart, only two Mario Karts graded a 9.8, and those both happen to be player's choice. So that's notable and noteworthy. keep looking here, see if there's anything else. Donkey Kong. There's no 9.8 Donkey Kong 64s, which is an absolutely epic game. That game changed video gaming in my mind. Love that game. Let's see what else we have. NWO versus WCW World Tour. There's no 9.8s in that. So interesting. I do want to look and see what Clay Fighter Sculptor's Cut. There's only one graded copy sealed. There's only one graded Sculptor's Cut copy, guys. Only one that's sealed. So if you have a sealed copy, send it in to WATA. It might take a year to get back, but it's going to be worth it. But there's only one, and it's a 9.4. How cool is that? And there's only 8 63 1/3. That's interesting too. That's a game that I do have sealed, and I have raw sealed. So maybe I should get it graded. Maybe I should send it in. That's a game that I've had for many, many moons. But cool. So let's look at some of the other population reports. Let's do Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo. Let's look and see, this time let's look and see where some of the more rare games that are pretty common, but rare in sealed. So let's scroll down. There's quite a few and only have a pop count 1, which is pretty cool. You got to feel pretty good about your game if you only have pop count 1. There's Jeopardy, which I know there's many. I have a sealed copy of Jeopardy over there, and there's only 1 pop count. People don't send it in because it's not worth a whole lot. So it's not worth the money and time. Let's see what else. Quarterback, yeah. I mean, a lot of these are pretty cool titles, but it doesn't surprise me there's only a pop count 1, and it's not necessarily that there's only 1 floating around out there, maybe in some cases, but a lot of the time it's just not worth sending some of these games in because it is so expensive, so time consuming to get these back graded. So yeah, and this is the first time that I'm looking at the Super Nintendo Pop Report. I've already looked through the N64, and obviously I've looked at the NES Pop Report for hours. But yeah, not this one. Not this one. So pretty cool. But let's look at some of the highest graded games. F-Zero, big surprise. This is another game that you can find, especially in the Player's Choice. You can find sealed cases of these still. They come up on eBay or wherever. This is A Link to the Past. Let's look at A Link to the Past. There's 60 graded first prints. 62 Player's Choice. And actually, I have a 9.2 Player's Choice. I have one of these are mine. It's kind of a cool game. It's one of my favorite games growing up. I mean, who didn't like A Link to the Past? It really was just the best. Zelda is my favorite video game series of all time, so it shouldn't surprise you that I have a sealed Link to the Past, but it is a Player's Choice. Still a pricey game. So Link to the Past is second. Third is Street Fighter 2, with the Made in Japan version being the bulk of that. Next up is Star Wars, which shouldn't surprise you. The JVC release, which is the release that you want. There's only 12 of those graded. I actually have the Made in Japan release, and there's 78 of those. So there's a pretty healthy amount of those. And there's a lot more floating around out there that haven't been graded too. The Super Nintendo games a lot of these are still abundantly found on eBay and other auction sites that you can find them sealed. So let's see what we got next. Close that. We got Mario Kart, Super Mario World, Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong Country 2, Killer Instinct, Space Invaders, Mortal Kombat. Space Invaders is an interesting one. There's that many graded. That's pretty neat. Vegas Stakes is another game that to this day you can find cases and cases of these. A lot of time it's pretty clear that they have cases of these out there because you can find a lot of them in 9.8. I mean, look at this. There's 49 graded copies, 21 are 9.8. So it shows you that these are case fresh. Someone probably sent cases of them in and just have them pulled directly out of the case, and they're going to grade, most likely they're going to grade a 9.6 or 9.8 if they've been in well kept, in, you know, good weather conditions. No, you don't leave them in your garage. So many people leave these things in their garage, especially here in Florida. The humidity gets to them. Even in their seals, it can destroy the books, get mold in them. It's no fun. So if you guys have sealed games, make sure to keep them indoors, climate controlled. Do not leave them somewhere that it's not. Here is another fun game, Addams Family Values. You can still find this one, but again, there are cases of it out there, and you can see that that's kind of reflected with the 9.8s. When there's a huge amount of 9.8s, like I said before, that's because someone has cases of them. They send cases in, they get graded. But there's not a whole lot of graded copies. There's 42. Which you think about it, there's thousands of these floating around sealed. So just know that just because there's only 42 on census doesn't mean there's only 42 in existence. They just haven't been sent in yet. Or maybe they're sitting in line at WATA. MTV's Beavis and Butthead. This was an epic game. Let's take a look and see if we can find any more with a 50% ratio on 9.8s. This one is darn close. Final Fight, 21 graded copies, 10 are 9.8. Let's keep going, see if there's any other instances. This is kind of high. Clay Fighter C2 Judgment Day 4. There's 110. Wow, look at that. Clay Fighter 2, there's 110. And let's look and see if we can find any other 10s. Let's make this bigger. So I'm gonna search through. Let's count how many 10s are on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. F-Zero has 1. Clay Fighter has 1, so we're at 2. Rap Jam has 1, so we're at 3. Balls 3D, so we're at 4. Still scrolling. And that's it. There's 4 10s on the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Now let's check out Sega Genesis. And I'm going to do the same thing real quick. I want to see if there's any 10s. I'd be really surprised if there's any 10s on Sega. Although the cases were hard cased, so theoretically it may be a little easier to have a 10 on Sega. Let's see if that is true. So there are 0, no 10s on Sega Genesis. There are no graded 10s on Sega Genesis. And I know a WATA 10 is extremely hard to get, but let's continue this search. I want to see if I can find any 10s. Let's do Nintendo Entertainment System. Quite a few 9.8s. And we will look at this a little closer. I just want to see if there's any 10s. Karate Kid, which I was aware of that one. That was on the last report. Worm. Oh. No, sorry. Wolverine, which I did hear about that one. So there's 2. There's 2 10s. Wolverine and Worm. Being a comic fan, to get a hold of that Wolverine game would be that'd be amazing. That would be amazing. So there's 2 on the Nintendo Entertainment System. And let's check out the Game Boy. Let's see what the most graded game is. Pokemon Yellow. No surprise there, right? That the top 3 are Pokemon games, because those are 3 of the top priced games. So big surprise there. It's very close. There's 194, 153, 152 in yellow, red, blue, respectively. Interestingly, this is one of the most sought after game titles, and there's only 17 9.8s in these 3 games. Joined together, there's only 17 9.8s that you could get in your collection. So to get any Game Boy game in a 9.8, extremely hard. It's going to be extremely expensive. And rightfully so. There's an average of, that would put it at an average, like about 6 per game. So the red has the most at 8. But yeah, that's definitely interesting. Let me see. Yeah, that's very interesting. So let's see if there are any 10s while I'm here. There's been 376 titles graded. And in the Game Boy, there is a ton of games with low pop counts. So pretty much everything from Monopoly down, there's less than 10 pop count. So, and that's really the most of the submissions. So that's pretty cool to see. Let's look at let me see, Game Boy Color. So this is the last system I'm going to look at right now for this. I do want to see the highest graded game, which I'm suspecting is Pokemon. Hey, what do you know? Pokemon Gold. That's a game that I actually have sealed, but mine is a lower grade. And second is Silver. First is Gold, second is Silver. And then we have a couple... so the top 5, it's Pokemon, Zelda, Pokemon. Big surprise. But again, you don't submit games to get graded and wait a year for a game that only costs $50. You want to get the stuff graded that costs money, so it makes sense. Let's see if there's anything else interesting in here. The pop counts, I should say, there's zero gold Pokemon game 9.8s. There's 0. That is amazing to me, because this is a Pokemon Color. You know what I mean? That's crazy to me. There's 11 of the trading card game 9.8s. Dragon Ball Z, there's 15 9.8s. So that's one. There's probably a case of it around that someone got a hold of. But again, low pop counts. After you get out of that top tier, that upper epsilon of games, you get past. Once you get past NSYNC, which everybody's dying for that game, we get down to right after about Tiger Woods. I mean, PGA Tour 2000. That kind of makes sense to be graded. It's a Tiger game. It's first. But then you get into the low pop counts again from Dragon Warrior down. Look at this. Most of the games have low pop counts that are on the census here, on the pop report. And there's only 234 graded titles. So pretty neat. It's kind of exciting though, because that really does show that we're still in the early on days in the sealed video game sales boom. I think there's still a lot more room, and you see with all the copies out there that are sealed, still ungraded, I'd be a little wary of some of these titles, but do your research, find out what you do and don't want. Find out what is important to you. Think about what is important to you. If you collect what you like, you will be happy. That's a very important thing to remember. If you collect something just for the monetary value or just because you're going to make money on it, doesn't always work out that way, unfortunately. Look at stocks, look at houses, look at real estate. Nothing is guaranteed. Tomorrow's not guaranteed. So keep that in mind. Buy what you like, buy what makes you happy. And if you make money at it at the same time, then smile. With that said, you can utilize these reports to really get an idea of, what truly is rare at this point and what isn't rare. But do your research. Look around. Just because a book has a pop count of 1, or just because a game has a pop count of 1, doesn't mean there's only 1. It just might be that people just don't feel like it's worth grading. So think about that. Take that into account. Look around. See what's available. If a game has a pop count 1 and you look online and there's cases and cases of it available, well, that should tell you something. Don't pay top dollar for the one that's graded, because you could just buy one of those, get it graded, have it back. So while it's cool to have a pop count 1 game, it doesn't mean that it's worth buying as an investment. But again, if it's something that you like, if it's something that you're into, it's worth buying. All right, guys. Thanks so much for taking a look at this. This is very exciting. I'm going to dig deeper into the numbers. Hopefully have another video for you guys soon. All right, guys. It's been fun. Thank you so much. If you like this video, hit that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe so you get updates anytime I have a new video. If you have comments, please leave them below. I'd love to hear from you guys. If you agree with me, fine. If you don't agree with me, then go away. No, I'm just kidding. You can comment too. Until next time, buy video games, buy collectibles. Bye, guys.